What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are gonna do some more talking about the Honda Civic 2022, and not just any Civic, me and Shelly's touring sedan that we have. I made a handful of videos about this car, reviews, was like owning it, issues. One thing I did want to talk about is what it's like traveling in this car, like long trips, like not just even in town, just kind of, you know, going back and forth, yada yada. So today's video, Shelly and I is actually gonna head to Santa Fe. Santa Fe is about 45 minutes, you know, from us. We live in Albuquerque, and we're gonna go on a quick little mini trip. And it's a quick day trip to kind of talk about and give you an idea what it's like traveling in the Civic. So this is the third Civic Shelly and I has owned. So we've had a lot of Honda. We've had a 2020 CR-V. You know, I just sold my 12 Acura TSX. I have a 2009 Civic Si right now. I had an 18 Accord. We had a 15 Civic LX. We had a 90 Accord. So we've had our fair share of Hondas. And I work at Honda. I sell Hondas. I drive Hondas every day. Like, I've been at my dealership for about 6 years, so I'm pretty familiar. And the 2022 Civic, I'll say, is the best driving Civic so far, like hands down. Honda just did a lot of changes to kind of like update the handling, because the 10 gen, which is from 16 to 21, was a very good driving car. It was a good upgrade from the 9 gen. What is going on here? What is this man doing? Driving New Mexico is just like one of the worst things ever. Like, I'm from New York, and I don't know. The issues I've had driving here, I just never had driving in New York, and it's very ironic. Like, this guy is doing 10 miles per hour. I don't know what's going on. That's a good example right there. Like, if you need to pass someone, you're on the highway, you have the power, you know, especially if you have the Touring, because the Touring has the 1.5 turbo 4-cylinder. If you get an LX or Sport, then you would get the 2-liter 4-cylinder non-turbo, which is still plenty of power. It's still a good engine, but you just don't have the torque you get in the turbo motor. This thing's pretty quick on its feet. If you need to just, you know, the light's about to turn red, and I don't know, you can't stop, you just need to go. You'll be able to merge on the highway with no issue. You'll be able to, you know, turn an intersection past someone. You're in a single lane, you need to go on the other side to pass them. All that stuff you'll be able to do. And the Civic makes about 180 horsepower, which is very decent for a vehicle like this, where it's an A to B. You know, this is not a sports car, not a performance car, nothing like that. Because I know nowadays it's hard to drive a car or test drive a car anymore. But the powertrain that's in the 22s is the same powertrain that was in 16 and up, if it's a turbo motor. Because I know back in 16 you still had a 2.0, LX has a 2.0, and all that good stuff. Unless you get a hatchback. I know the previous generation hatchback all had turbo motors, and then for 22 they don't have all have turbo motors anymore. It can be confusing, but it makes sense. But yeah, the way how it lays the power down is pretty decent. Like, you're not gonna have no issues just getting around, going to school, going to work, all that good stuff. Before Shelly and I head to Santa Fe, because I am kind of in the future right now, I'm heading to Home Depot to pick up some cleaning products, because we run out of a few things we got to pick up. So I'll talk about this in the beginning, and then we'll go back to us going to Santa Fe, back and forth type of thing. Made it to Home Depot. Let's go get some stuff real fast. All right, we got what we needed to get. I'm gonna show you something else that's clutch on the Civic. So if you pop the trunk, it opens all the way. Let's talk about the seats real fast. So the seats are comfortable, good material. They are leather trimmed. Like I said, the furthest we've driven in this car is about 2 hours, I think. Like, just sitting in the car driving, really comfortable. It'll be perfect if, I mean, I don't need it, but I feel like as a travel vehicle, or if you're going a long distance, lumbar support would have been clutch on this thing. None of the Civics have lumbar support. I believe Honda saved that for the Integra. I mean, for 22, they did redesign the seats from the 10 gen, made it a little bit more comfortable, not too bolstered, you know, not too aggressive. I feel like any frame can fit in it, but it still holds you in place a little bit. I mean, it's not like a racing bucket where it won't let you slide or go around corners. You may, you know, drift side to side. I mean, it is adjustable. It's power on the driver, power in the passenger if you do get the Touring. Lumbar would have been nice, but like I said, Integra has it, so You get to go by Integra if you want lumbar support. I'm gonna get out the garage now, and then we're gonna jump into, that gotta be a Honda. I'm gonna get out the garage now, and then we're gonna jump right into the video of us heading to Santa Fe. Also, what comes in handy is the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so your phone don't gotta be plugged in using GPS. That makes like road trips super easy. We're driving about 61 miles, and we have pretty much an hour to go. We should get there like 12:20. Look at this guy, man. Typical New Mexico drivers. Look at him zipping in and out. And we're all gonna get caught at the same red light. It's just funny. So speaking of road tripping, we ran into another Civic that's road tripping. And it's a touring too, so just like us. It's a different color. One thing that also comes in handy is this full digital cluster here. So you have the navigation on one side, you can see what music you listen on the other side, and customize it kind of how you want it. But things like this, like in the touring package, is just comfortable, you know, out of all the Civics. And you just have a lot of goodies, like the Bose sound system come in handy for long trips. Sound quality sounds A1. Wireless phone charger as well, and that comes in handy because if it's two people in the car, like us, you know, you do have two USB ports. You can charge your phones, or one person can charge their phone on there. So very convenient. A lot of good things to have when you're on a trip. But we got like 40 some minutes to go, so we're about to get on another highway. I forgot what this is called. I think this is 25, and it is 25. There you go. We made it to Santa Fe. And one thing I forgot to mention too, I didn't use it on this trip, but Honda sensing comes in handy on road trips, especially if you're using like the adaptive cruise control or the lane keep assist. Because when you turn it on, you know, it'll show you the little green things, let you know that it reads your lane. And when it's on, it keeps you centered in your lane, which is pretty cool. And then with the adaptive cruise control, you can see, like right now, I can feel the steering wheel staying centered by itself. It don't mean take your wheel off. Take your hand off the wheel, let Jesus, you know, take the wheel. But you can adjust the distance from the car in front of you, which is pretty cool. Oh, turn that on. So then, yeah, you have the little bars right there. Adjust the distance from the car that's in front of you, which is pretty cool. And then you have the lane keep assist that will keep you centered in your lane. Turn that off, though. We don't need that right now. And all Civics have that, so that's not like a touring thing. You have that. But the display of it, how you see the little car right there, that's specifically for the touring. The tires are wider on the touring, so they're 225s. Civics usually have about 215, so you feel a little bit more planted, more zippier. The handling is a lot better too because you have the wider tires. So you do feel more planted. So if you ever need to, like, you know, and someone's crashing and you need to like get out the lane or something like that, an emergency happen, it feels good to know that you're more secure on the road. And there's a spot right here. What is it called? Something water, right?
I think it's Sweetwater.
Oh, it's
Sweetwater Harvest Kitchen.
There we go. So we can find some parking. I like how it says compact parking. There's a big behind Outback parked up in there. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, super nice place. We're gonna get some vegan burritos, breakfast burritos. One thing with traveling is small cars. You can park it wherever. So we in Santa Fe, and there's like no parking here. I don't know who in Santa Fe think there is. They probably think they're in New York or something, but we're late to the opera because we have to circle around the block like 10 times. Couldn't find no parking. It's crazy. I don't know who Santa Fe think they are. Yeah. Oh, look at the G-Wagon's fire. This thing is clean. The Performing Arts, the opera is at. It should be starting now. So that was our first opera. Well, you been to opera before?
I've never been to an opera before.
First opera, it was super good. I put a little bit in this vlog. But the problem is we used the parking garage just across the street from the opera itself, because for some reason, if you've been to Santa Fe, you know how it is out here in this little main part. There's nowhere to park, and everyone parked in here, so we're just sitting in line. But big shout out to everyone that was included in that opera. That thing was fire. I gave it 6 thumbs up, 6 stars. I think it was 100 stars. I think it was fire. So we're gonna head back home now, an hour trip back to Albuquerque, and we're gonna get something to eat. So sitting in these seats for an hour, they're comfortable, they're fine, no issues. I never had issues with them. So if you're curious of what it's like, you know, just in these seats for a long trip. Because like I said, I think the longest we've driven in this car so far is 2 hours, I believe, and no issues at all. Very comfortable. Another feature that comes in handy, so I'm in drive right now, and it has a brake hold. So if you turn that guy on, it'll, you know, it says holding your brake, and I take my feet off the brake, and the car won't move. It'll hold the brake. So I know a lot of these features, you know, is in a lot of cars nowadays, but just talking specifically on a Civic, all this stuff is standard, especially in the touring, and it just makes traveling very comfortable, especially with the dual zone climate control. You know, if Shelly, you know, is hot and I'm cold, we don't have to fight over, you know, splitting the temperature, stuff like that. You have heated seats as well, so very comfortable. But yeah, we're gonna head home. The next mission is to get out of this parking garage and head home. A few days later, I actually forgot to end the video, but just kind of sum everything up. Road tripping in a Civic, especially in a 22. If you bought this car, put a deposit on this car, or even thinking about getting this car, you won't be disappointed with long travels or going somewhere far. But if you decide to go with the Civic, especially with the touring, you're going to love this thing as a travel vehicle if you need to travel. One thing I forgot to mention is the trunk space. So the Civic is actually very spacious. The seats do fold down and they split, I think 60-40 as well. So I forgot to mention the rain sensing windshield wipers too. So you're driving somewhere, it's raining super hard, leaving things on auto, it'll wipe for you. That's not even something really worth to mention, but you guys get the gist of it. The touring's fully loaded, it has all the features. You don't have to add packages or whatever. It's standard in the touring, standard in this size, and it's just a good pickup. Also, I forgot to mention at night, you do have the LEDs, fog lights as well. You can't get no other trim with the touring, so it comes in handy. When we had our CRV, we went 3 hours out, 4 hours out, 5 hours out. I remember we had a 15LX Civic. So it's a 15LX base model, plain Jane. And we took that thing to Vegas, and I drove 8 hours straight to Vegas, and I was a little car lag. And, you know, you get a little kind of like, I don't know, I would say, if you sit in the same spot for too long, you do feel a little bit uncomfortable, because with the LX, there's no power seats, no leather seats, no heated seats, no nothing. So I would say these seats are more comfortable than that 15LX that we had. And then the 2020 CRV Touring that we had, so that one's actually pretty comfortable with the touring as well. And these are still pretty similar in comfort. But thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna end everything here. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or I missed anything. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.